did you give up practicing dentistry and take up gambling?
What's the word they use? Irrelevant?
I'll rule on that, Mr. Holliday. You answer the question.
Was it because of your illness?
Partially.
Or as your growing reputation as a killer?
No, I found there was more gold in people's pockets than in their mouths. Does that satisfy you?
Eminently. What was your reason for volunteering your services as a gunfighter to the Earp family?
I owed Wyatt Earp a favor.
You mean you killed a man you didn't even know as a favor to another?
I killed a lot of men I didn't know between 1861 and 1865. Nobody said anything about it then.
War, Mr. Holliday.
Well, I never did understand the difference.
How many men have you killed as a civilian?
Oh, I don't know, somewhere between 18 and 25.
I presume they were all quarrels over your gentlemanly honor.
No, over money. That's my profession. You finished?
No, not quite. Then you admit that you accepted a deputy's badge and used it as a cloak to cover an act of homicide as a favor.
I accepted a deputy's badge to uphold the law against Ike Clanton, who was threatening it with a gang of gunmen, until he decided to pull out and sacrifice his brother to make the Earps look like baby killers so they'd lose votes.
You're out of order, Mr. Holliday. Just answer the question.
Did you not, as a fact, accept a deputy's badge?
I don't need a badge to kill.
Only the word of Wyatt Earp.
Go to hell and back on the word of Wyatt Earp, and so would half the men in this room.
And you observed these impressions of the gunfight from where, Mr. Clanton?
Fly's photographic gallery across from the OK Corral.
I see. With the court's permission, is Andrew Warshaw on the court?
Yeah, right here.
Would you mind standing up, Mr. Warshaw? Is Andrew Warshaw in your employ?
Yes, he is.
Is this the same Andrew Warshaw who's wanted in Pecos County, Texas on 2 counts of armed robbery and 3 of murder?
I wouldn't know that.
What capacity do you employ, Mr. Warshaw?
Scientific stock breeder.
I see. Now, Andrew Warshaw has been observed regularly wearing a 6-gun and saddle holstering a Winchester carbine. Now, are these normally considered the tools of his profession?
Maybe he has to force the stock to breed.
Mr. Holliday, that will be all. You can sit down now, Mr. Warshaw. Would, William Brocious please stand up? Is William Brocious in your employ?
Yes, he is.
Is this the same William Brocious who is wanted variously on 8 counts of murder in Kansas City, Missouri, Abilene, Texas, Gallup, New Mexico, between the years 1878 and 1881?
I wouldn't
Oh
know
my
that either.
God.
In what capacity do you employ him?
Bookkeeper.
Beg your pardon?
Bookkeeper.
I see. That'll be all, Mr. Brocious. Now, is it a fact that you're a heavy financial backer of another one of your employees, Pete Spence, for the Tombstone City Marshal post now held by Virgil Earp?
It is a fact.
That will be all.
When you heard the shooting, why did you not go to the aid of your brother and the McLaurys?
It's been so long since there's been a gunfight in this county, I can scarcely believe my ears.
You alright?
When you did ascertain that a gunfight
Huh?
was actually in progress, what did you
Yeah,
do?
I'm just watching this try not to laugh video.
I find that my
But I just
familiarity
can't
with
because
weapons
it
is not
was
an
too
asset to me as a
funny.
businessman.
It
This
has
kid
been
just
stated
smacks
that
his
your
head with a book
employees,
and then another person just
bookkeeper,
slams
and the cattle breeder
their head down
were
on a
wrong.
table.
Why, Mr. Clanton?
I've been
In
told
a
that
in
there
a
is
Mario
plot to
kind of
assassinate
thing
me.
where it go dun dun dun
Because of
dun
my
dun.
stand for freedom of the range against the
I
Easterners.
know, it's funny.
In my opinion, such was the purpose of the Marshal's attack on the OK Corral.
That is all. Then you did have an animosity toward the Clanton group prior to October 26, 1881.
Everyone in town knows I did.
Oh, Marshal, you walked down to that OK Corral with your brothers and Doc Holliday in a state of frustration with malice in your heart toward Ike Clanton and his group.
I've said that. Repeating the question won't make it any stronger.
That's all.
Just a moment, Your Honor. I should like to re-examine the defendant. Why? Did malice move you against the Clanton group?
No,
Would you tell the court what did?
the Clanton group was armed and made threats of death and violence against us. It was our duty as sworn peace officers to disarm and arrest them. I would disarm and arrest General Ulysses S. Grant if he appeared on the streets of Tombstone under those circumstances.
Wyatt, I told you before you went down to the corral that I had met with the Clanton group, and they agreed to leave town peaceably.
Brian, you take bribes. You're a thief, a liar, and a disgrace to your office. I wouldn't take your word if you swore to it on your mother's grave.
You'll live to regret that.
I want to recall Sheriff Bryan. Now, Sheriff Bryan, would you mind repeating under oath the statement you just made?
I said, I attempted to stop the Earps and Holiday as they marched down the street toward the corral.
How did you go about that?
I told them that none of the men at the corral were looking for trouble. They had all agreed to leave town immediately.
And what was their reply?
They ignored me.
And what did you do then?
I watched them, and I saw Billy Clanton and Frank McLaury raise their hands above their heads. And Tom McLaury threw back his coat lapel to show that he was unarmed. And that's when the Earps and Holiday opened fire.
And you swear to this under oath?
I do!
That they fired on the deceased with their coats open
I do.
and their hands raised
I
in the
do.
air. That's all, Your Honor. So we see that the prosecution has introduced a substantial